You are tired, and not the kind of tiredness that sleep can fix. It is the exhaustion of fighting a war inside your own mind every single day, a war that no one around you can see, that begins before the alarm goes off and is still happening when you turn off the light at night and lie down hoping for a rest that never comes. I know what happens in there. I know about the thoughts that return even when you try to push them away. I know about the guilt that resurfaces in the middle of the night as if it were waiting for you to let your guard down. I know about the fear that lives in your chest before the day even begins, that feeling that something is going to go wrong, that you are not enough, that perhaps I have forgotten you. I have not forgotten you. I am here, and I came to speak about this war because it has a name, it has an origin, and it has an answer. That answer begins now, in this moment, with my voice reaching you exactly where you are. The most important battle of your life is not happening around you. It is happening inside your mind, and I came to show you how to win it. Let me describe your day. You wake up, and before you even get out of bed, your mind has already started. It is already replaying yesterday, already anticipating tomorrow, already cataloging everything that could go wrong. It is not laziness, it is not weakness, it is the weight of carrying a mind that never rests, one thought pulling another like a chain you cannot let go of. Throughout the day, you function. You reply to messages, you smile, you do what needs to be done, but inside there is a constant noise that no one around you can hear, a voice that compares, accuses, remembers, a voice that says you did not do enough, that you are not enough, that even if you try harder tomorrow, it still will not be enough. And at night, when the world finally becomes quiet, your mind speeds up. It is exactly there, in the dark, when you should be resting, that the heaviest thoughts appear. The guilt over something you did months ago or years ago. The fear of a future that has not arrived yet, but that you have already lived through 1,000 times inside your head. The feeling that there is something fundamentally wrong with you. I know about those nights. I was there in every single one of them. I heard every thought you were ashamed to admit out loud, the ones you never told anyone, the ones you can barely admit to yourself. I heard them all, and I need you to understand something about that. I know you completely, not only the version you show the world, but what exists inside, what boils beneath the surface, what you carry in silence. I wrote through my servant David these words, and I say them to you now. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. Psalm 139, verse 23. I do not say this to frighten you. I say it to free you from a lie you may be believing. The lie that you are alone in this war. You think I do not see what happens inside your mind. You think this invisible battle is hidden from me, that perhaps I'm looking at other things, at people with bigger problems, at more urgent situations. But I need you to hear this with all the attention you can gather right now. There is not a single thought that has passed through your mind that I have not seen. There is not a single moment of silent despair that has escaped my eyes. I wrote through David, and I repeat it now to you. Thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my downsitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Psalm 139, verses 1-2. I know you before you think. I see you before you feel, and I am still here. Not because you managed to hide the chaos inside you from me, but because I saw you completely and chose to stay. There is something mental exhaustion does to people that few speak about openly. It does not only drain you, it lies to you. It takes exhaustion and turns it into identity. It takes fear and calls it prophecy.
It takes guilt and calls it a sentence. And little by little, you begin to believe that the war inside your mind is who you are, that this constant noise, this endless anxiety, this weight you wake up carrying are simply your permanent reality. But they are not, and I came to break that right now. I came because this war has an origin beyond what you can see. I came because the thoughts destroying you did not come from nowhere, and they will not leave on their own. I came because there is a truth about your mind that will change everything once you understand it. And there is something I need you to hear before we continue.
I was not caught by surprise by what you were facing. I was here before it began. I saw the first time that thought entered your mind. I saw when it returned the second time, the 10th time, the 100th time. And I need you to understand something that goes against everything exhaustion has been telling you. This war happening inside you is not proof that I abandoned you. It is proof that you need me more than ever and that I am here. Because there is a truth about your mind that the enemy does not want you to discover. He wants you to believe that the thoughts that come are simply yours, that the voice that accuses, lies, and terrifies is just who you are inside. But it is not. There is a spiritual battle taking place in the territory of your mind, and it is real. I spoke of this through my servant Paul the Apostle, and I say it to you now. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5. Did you read that carefully? I did not say to ignore your thoughts. I did not say to pretend they do not exist. I said to capture them, to look directly at them and judge them by my truth. That means you have authority over what happens inside your mind, not by your own strength, but because I gave you that authority. Because the battle happening in your thoughts has already been won, and I came to remind you of that today. You are not condemned to live in war forever. Your mind does not have to remain a prison, and it begins now with what I am about to show you. Let me show you something most people have never stopped to consider. The most devastating war that exists does not happen on visible battlefields. It has no explosions others can hear, no wounds others can see, no clear moment when someone declares victory or defeat. It happens in silence, inside the most intimate territory that exists, your mind. And it can destroy an entire life without anyone around noticing. Think about someone you know. Maybe it is even you. They wake up early, go to work, fulfill their responsibilities, smile at the right moments. On the outside, everything seems to function, but inside there is a constant war that never stops. Thoughts that accuse before the day even begins, fears that settle in before any real threat appears. An exhaustion that does not come from the body because it is born from something much deeper than the body. I see this. I see every front of this invisible battle, and I need you to understand why this war begins where it does, because Proverbs 23 verse 7 says something that reaches the root of it all. I placed these words through my servant Solomon, and I say them to you now. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he acts, not as he speaks, as he thinks. That means the battle for your life begins before any action. It begins in the invisible. It begins with a thought that seems small, harmless, temporary, but carries the power to shape emotions. Emotions shape choices, and choices shape the entire destiny of a life. The enemy knows this. That is why he always starts with the mind. And I know this too. That is why I came to speak with you about it today, because I do not look only at what you do, I look at where it all begins. And I said this through my servant David with a clarity I want you to feel right now. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me,
and lead me in the way everlasting. Psalm 139, 23-24. That was David's request, not to hide from me what existed inside him, but to invite me into that territory and transform it. And that is exactly what I want to do inside you. Not merely observe the war, but enter into it with you. Because there is something about your thoughts that I need you to understand before we continue.
There is a truth about thoughts that almost no one takes seriously, and it changes everything once you finally understand it. Thoughts are not neutral. They are not just passing noise that enters and leaves your mind without consequence. Every thought you entertain, every lie you allow to settle in, every accusation you accept without questioning, all of it carries weight. It has direction. It has a destination. I have seen this happen repeatedly throughout all of human history. And when I walked among men through my son, I demonstrated something that deeply disturbed those around me, because I responded to what people were thinking before they ever opened their mouths. The Pharisees sat there questioning silently, accusing inwardly, doubting within the invisible territory of their hearts, and I answered directly what was hidden, because to me what happens inside has never been hidden. I spoke this through my servant who wrote to the Hebrews, and I tell you now with the same clarity, neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and opened unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Hebrews 4:13. Everything is exposed before me, not only your actions, your thoughts, not only what you say, what you feel before you say anything at all. Your entire mind, with all its warfare, with all its chaos, with all its pain, is completely visible to me. And I am not telling you this to shame you. I am telling you because shame is exactly what the enemy uses to keep you trapped. He wants you to believe that the thoughts you have are so filthy, so dark, so unthinkable that I could never look at you with love after seeing them. But that is the greatest lie he has ever told you, because I have already seen everything and I am still here. I still love you. I still came to speak with you today. There is something else I need you to understand about the spiritual weight of thoughts. When I taught about sin, I went deeper than any human law had ever gone. I taught that sin does not begin with action. It begins with the thought that comes before it. It begins with the desire that settles in before the choice is made. It begins in the invisible territory where no human law can reach, but where I have always been present, because I have always known that this is where the real battle takes place. That means your struggle with thoughts of fear, guilt, comparison, and self-condemnation is not trivial. It is not weakness. It is not a lack of faith. It is a real spiritual battle happening in a real spiritual territory. And I came to equip you for this battle, not to leave you alone in it. Because there is something the enemy has built inside many people over time that must be dismantled, and I want to show you how that happens. Let me tell you about someone, not a famous person, not someone with an extraordinary story of sin or tragedy, just an ordinary person, someone who may look a lot like you. He goes to church, knows Bible verses by heart, prays before going to sleep. On the outside, he looks like someone who has his spiritual life together. But inside, there is an exhaustion he cannot explain to anyone, because how do you explain being tired from something no one else can see? His routine begins like this. He wakes up already carrying the weight of the previous day. Before he even gets out of bed, the judgment has already started in his mind.
He relives the conversation he should not have had. He relives the wrong decision he made. He anticipates everything that could go wrong today. Then he gets up, puts on the face the world expects to see, and goes out to face another day, while inside the war continues without pause, without truce, without mercy. What happened to him, and may be happening to you, is that the thoughts repeated themselves so many times that they started to feel true. The lie that he is a failure repeated itself so many times that it became an identity. The fear of the future repeated itself so many times that it became certainty. Guilt repeated itself so many times that it became a permanent sentence. And little by little, thought by thought, he built a prison inside his own mind without realizing what was happening. I spoke through my servant Paul about the nature of this battle, and I repeat it now to you. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians 6:12. Your struggle is not against circumstances. It is not against people. It is against forces that operate in the invisible and that have chosen your mind as their field of operation. This is not weakness on your part. It is a real spiritual battle. And I know what kind of war does to a person over time. I saw David reach the point of crying out, "Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me?" Psalm 42:5. He was speaking to his own soul because his own soul was at war. He knew my voice, he had seen my hand move, and still there were moments when the internal weight seemed greater than any promise he had received. I did not abandon him in those moments, and I will not abandon you in yours. Because what I want to show you now is exactly what David discovered after asking that question. The answer he found was not pretending the pain didn't exist. It was not suppressing the fear. It was learning how to respond, to confront what was happening inside him with something more powerful than his own feelings. And I want to teach you to do the same, because there is a strategy that few people practice, and it changes everything once you begin to use it.
Let me show you something that happened in the wilderness, not as a story you have already heard in church and stored away in your memory as mere information, but as something that truly happened in a real place with real hunger, real silence, and a human vulnerability that few people stop to consider. Because what happened in that wilderness was not just a historical event, it was the clearest demonstration I ever gave of how to overcome the war inside the mind. 40 days without food, 40 days of silence and isolation, the body at its limit, the mind exposed, and it was exactly there, at the moment of greatest human vulnerability, that the enemy chose to attack. And pay attention to how he attacked. Not with physical violence, not with a visible threat. He attacked with words, with questions, with doubts planted in the territory of the mind. If thou be the Son of God, that was the weapon he chose. Not a sword, a suggestion, not force, a doubt. And he still uses that same weapon today against you with the same words, only adapted. If God really loves you, why are you like this? If you truly changed, why do you still feel this way? If God were really with you, why does your life seem so difficult? Do you recognize those voices? I do. I hear them when they come against you, and I know how heavy they are, because I heard them being directed at my own son in the wilderness.
But now pay attention to what happened next, because here is the secret that will change the way you face every destructive thought that has ever come or ever will come against you. My son did not argue with the lie. He did not try to debate the enemy using human logic. He did not become paralyzed by doubt, nor did he try to prove anything. He simply responded with what I had already said. It is written, Matthew 4. 3 words that ended the discussion before it could even develop. It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Matthew 4:4. It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Matthew 4:7. It is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Matthew 4:10. Every attack answered with my word, not with emotion, not with personal strength, but with what I had already declared, because what I declare cannot be overthrown by any voice, any thought, or any enemy. And I need you to understand something deep about this. Controlling your thoughts according to what I taught does not mean pretending everything is fine. It does not mean suppressing fear and smiling while you are shattered inside. It does not mean never feeling anxious or never being shaken by doubt. It means learning how to respond. It means that when fear comes, and it will come, you do not have to believe everything it says, because I have already spoken about that fear. I spoke through my servant Paul, and I say to you now with all the authority I possess. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. That spirit of fear did not come from me, which means it has no authority over you unless you allow it. And I know that stopping yourself from believing a voice you have heard so long is not simple, but there is something else I need you to hear, something that may be the most liberating truth you will hear today. I spoke through Paul once again, and I say to you now with all the authority I possess, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. No condemnation, not some, not only the smaller ones, none. That means the voice that condemns you every morning, that catalogs your failures, that tells you you are unworthy, that presents you with a list of reasons why I should have given up on you. That voice is not mine. It never was, and it does not have the final word over your life. I do, and I spoke through Isaiah so that you would never forget. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you will prosper, including the ones forged inside your own mind. Philippians 4:8, and I placed this through Paul as a map for your mind. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. I did not ask you to ignore reality. I asked you to filter what you feed your mind, to choose with the authority I gave you what is allowed to occupy space within your thoughts. You have that authority, you have that choice, and I am here to help you exercise it. With every thought, every sleepless night, every moment when the war begins again. Because there is something about the peace I offer that goes beyond any strategy, and I need you to show you that now.
Let me show you what is really behind the exhaustion you feel. It is not only the weight of negative thoughts. It is not only fear, guilt, or anxiety. It is something more subtle and more devastating. It is the constant attempt to control what you were never meant to control. The future you cannot see, the people you cannot change, the outcomes you cannot guarantee. And a mind trying to hold all of that at once becomes exhausted because it was created to trust in me, not to carry the weight of the world alone. Think about the way you live. You anticipate problems that do not yet exist. You replay conversations that have already ended. You calculate scenarios, prepare responses, try to predict the unpredictable, all in an attempt to feel safe in a world you know you cannot fully control. And the result is a mind that never rests, because the work of controlling everything never ends. Not because you are weak, but because that burden was never yours to carry. I spoke this through my servant Paul with a precision I want you to feel now. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:6-7. Notice the words, "The peace I offer surpasses all understanding," which means it does not depend on you understanding first. It does not depend on the situation making sense. It does not depend on the problem being solved. It arrives before that, in the middle of it. And prayer, I need you to understand what it truly is. It is not a ritual you perform to impress me. It is not a checklist of requests you present, hoping I will mark them off one by one. Prayer is the moment when you stop trying to hold everything together and place into my hands what yours can no longer sustain. It is a reordering of the soul. It is the act of recognizing that I am God and you do not have to be. And in that recognition, something loosens inside you that no human strategy can release. I spoke through Isaiah, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee." Isaiah 26:3. Perfect peace, not partial peace, not temporary peace, for the one whose mind is fixed on me, not on solutions, not on strategies, on me. And I know that fixing your mind on me while your thoughts are at war feels impossible. But I never asked you to do it alone. I asked you to come to me and let me do within you what you cannot do by yourself. Think about a night when someone cried alone while praying, without beautiful words, without perfect liturgy, just with their soul poured out before me. Think about what happens in that moment. The racing mind begins to slow down. The weight that felt permanent begins to grow lighter, not because the problem disappeared, but because something inside that person realized they are no longer carrying it alone. And that is the peace I offer, not the absence of the storm, but my presence within it. I spoke through David in a moment when he himself was crushed under the weight of life. "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee." Psalm 55:22. Cast it upon me. Stop carrying it. Stop trying to solve it alone. Cast it down, and I will sustain not only the situation, but you, your mind, your heart, your peace. And I tell you what my son told the disciples when they needed to watch instead of sleep. "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing,
but the flesh is weak. Matthew 26:41. Watching over your mind, paying attention to what enters, what you feed, what you allow to settle within you, is a spiritual act, and prayer is what keeps you awake for that battle. Because there is a transformation that begins when you understand all of this, a transformation that does not happen overnight, but is more real than anything you have ever felt. And I want to show you how it happens. Let me show you something about my son that perhaps you have never stopped to consider this way. He lived in a world with real pressure, real rejection, real betrayal, real pain. He was misunderstood by the people closest to him. He was abandoned when he most needed companionship. He was publicly accused by those who should have known him. And yet, not once in his life was he ruled by fear. Not once did he react impulsively to the chaos around him. Not once was he dominated by anxiety over what was ahead. That was not because he did not feel. He felt everything. He felt the weight of Gethsemane so deeply that he asked for the cup to pass from him. He felt the pain of abandonment so deeply that he cried out from the cross. But there was something within him that remained unshaken, even when everything around him was collapsing. There was an anchoring that suffering could not destroy. And I tell you now what that anchoring was. It was my mind operating within him. It was thinking with humility, acting in love, remaining steady in chaos, and living completely aligned with my truth, even when the truth cost everything. And I spoke through Paul something that needs to sink deeply into you today. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Philippians 2:5. Let this mind be in you. This is not a motivational suggestion. It is a real invitation for the way my son thought, the anchoring he carried, the peace that remained within him even in the middle of the storm, to become available to you. Not after you improve yourself, not after you solve all your problems, now. But I need to be honest with you about how this transformation happens. It is not instant. The old thoughts will still appear because they have been repeated for so long that they have carved pathways within you. Anxiety will still try to return. Fear will still knock at the door. Guilt will still try to drag you back into the past. But the difference now is that there is watchfulness, there is direction, there is an anchor that chaos cannot tear away. And I spoke through Paul about how this transformation happens in practice. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Renewing of the mind, not superficial reform, deep renewal. And it happens through spiritual habits that seem simple, but carry the power to change the entire territory of your mind over time. Meditation on my word, not as a religious task, but as feeding your mind with what is true when it is filled with what is false. Silence before me, not as the absence of noise, but as the space where my voice can be heard above all the others. Emotional vigilance, paying attention to what you consume, what you feed, what you allow to enter and settle within you. I spoke this through Joshua at a moment when he was about to face something that seemed impossible. This book of the law shall not depart from thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Joshua 1:8. Meditating on my word day and night, not as religion, but as the practice of feeding your mind with truth until truth becomes more natural than the lie. And there is something else I want you to carry with you from this moment forward. I did not give you only rules to follow. I gave you something much deeper. I spoke through Paul, but we have the mind of Christ. 1 Corinthians 2:16. You have access to the mind of Christ, not as a distant ideal you struggle to reach through your own effort, but as an available reality, because I dwell within you, and where I dwell, my mind operates. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are willing to let me work within the territory you have guarded alone for so long. Because there is something I need to declare over you before I finish, something that goes against everything the war inside your mind has been telling you.
I never left, not during any of the nights when your mind would not stop racing, not during any of the moments when you felt completely alone inside your own thoughts, not during any of the early mornings when guilt returned, when fear tightened its grip, when the voice condemning you spoke louder than every promise you had ever heard. I was there. I am here now, and I am not going anywhere. I need to tell you who you are, not in the eyes of the world, not in the eyes of your own exhausted conscience, not in the eyes of people who only know you from the outside. In my eyes, you are not the sum of your darkest thoughts. You are not what fear says you are. You are not the failure that guilt catalogs every morning. You are not the version of yourself that anxiety presents when night falls. You are mine, and that changes everything. Because what is mine, I protect. What is mine, I restore. What is mine, I do not abandon in the middle of a battle, even when that battle takes place in a territory no one else can see. I spoke through David the words that I want to sink deeply into you right now. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. Psalm 23, verses 1 through 3. He restores my soul. Not only the circumstances, not only the outward situation, the soul, the place where the war happens, the place where thoughts live, the place where peace must arrive first. And I restore yours. Not because you managed to win the war alone, not because you finally got everything right, but because you are mine, and I am the God who restores what was broken, who rebuilds what was destroyed, who brings peace into the most restless place that exists inside a human being. I spoke through my Son the words I want to remain echoing within you today. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14:27. Not as the world gives. The world offers peace when circumstances improve. I offer peace in the middle of them. The world offers relief when the problem disappears. I offer presence while the problem is still there. The world offers distraction from pain. I offer transformation of the place where the pain lives. That is the peace available to you. Not tomorrow, not after you fix everything, not when you finally feel worthy enough to receive it. Now. Perhaps the miracle you were searching for was not an immediate change in your circumstances. Perhaps it was this, a silent transformation inside your mind. The war no one could see beginning to lose its strength. The thoughts that seemed unstoppable beginning to find an answer.
the peace that surpasses all understanding, beginning to guard your heart in a place chaos cannot reach. That is the miracle I came to bring, and it has already begun, in this very moment while you hear my voice. You no longer need to live enslaved to your own mind. That chain has been broken, not by your effort, by my work. And I spoke through Paul about what happens when the mind is governed by me. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Romans 8:6. Life and peace, not one or the other, both, available to you right now. I am already in your tomorrow. I have already seen what is ahead, and I am already there. You can rest now. The most important battle of your life did not end today, but today you learned that you are no longer fighting alone. I am in this war with you, and I have never lost a battle. If this message reached you today, share it with someone who is also fighting a war no one else can see. And if you still have not found the peace we talked about, begin now with a simple prayer, with an honest word spoken to me. I am listening.